Good morning. It's 9:11. I think we have a quorum, and if the City Council could take their seats. And all the other people in suits up here in the front. I bet all these people with suits up in the front could take a seat. Thank you. With that, we will open. We'll begin with our open microphone speakers. Ms. Rios.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Your speakers are going to be Kermit Mitchell, Carter Jebb, Regina Bergia, Sandy Mosley, Dolores Phillips, and Cynthia Smith.
Carter Jebb.
Carter Jebb. If anybody has handouts or they're going to do a visual presentation using our equipment, it's important that you be prepared and ready. As trying to distribute the information or connect the information, your equipment does affect your speaking time. 3 minutes, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, council members. I'm here to speak to you. My name is Andrew Jebb, 5646 Milton, Dallas 75206. I'm here to speak to you today about Uber, past, present, and future. The past. We understand that due to the advent of technology, many businesses will not be able to harness accompanying technology and therefore must suffer the result, inevitably death, of the business. Yes, Uber saw a weakness in the marketplace and brilliantly exploited it with incredible technology. However, being able to cleverly dodge the rules, legislation, and all legal manners so as to monopolize control over the industry is entirely outside the moral compass. It's so obvious to everyone in the transportation industry that the Council has passed the rules and regulations which were adopted over 30 years ago from different states to appear as intellectual decision makers at the time. Charging late fees for a license when Uber drivers are not accountable for any such fees is just completely lopsided and out of balance with logic. There has been no account of an UberX passenger being involved in an accident, but how long is that to last? You are not authorized to charge a fee for more than the manufacturer's cost. We have an obligation to our fellow man to conduct business in a fair and moral manner. Uber ignores such practices. How long can we afford to turn a blind eye to such corrupt business practices? The present, the decision to allow Uber in the DFW airports without having any permits but yet still requiring the transportation industry to do so is indeed a double standard. Why is Uber allowed to ignore the rules and also create rules and procedures of their own and not be held accountable? The limo drivers at DFW and Love Field are all but extinct, and as of last month's new policy and implementations. I understand the concept of competition in the free market, but this is clearly planned execution. If Uber takes control of the entire city's transportation and is calling all the shots, why do we need these fees and regulations? I ask that you please have your resourceful legal department search the law regarding the illegal fees you and the DFW transportation had collected for the past 30 years. The future. Every man is independent of all laws except for those prescribed by nature. We are indeed all sovereign beings. The ultimate agenda of Uber CEO Travis Kalanick has blatantly stated he's to completely control all aspects of the transportation industry. If you listen to anything that I've said, please listen to this. What you need to understand is that which has already begun. There will be a mileage tax per mile instituted on every vehicle in the near future. As of 2014, all vehicles have had a mandatory black box installed in order to implement this mileage tax, as well as total vehicular monitoring, including the monitoring of all private conversations taking place within said vehicle. Insurance rates will then strategically surge, forcing drivers to abandon their vehicles due to lack of affordability. The advent of completely automated driverless cars has already begun, and these actions, which I assure you are already in motion, will give Uber the opportunity on all transportation in the not-so-distant future. As a truth seeker, I ask you not to take my word for it, but to do the research for yourself. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Jebb.
Regina Bergia. Ms. Bergia will be followed by Sandy Mosley, Dolores Phillips, and Cynthia Smith. Obio.
Go ahead.
I'm Regina Bergia. I'm in Philip Kingston's district. Mayor, this morning I'm here to talk to you to alert you to an issue that the Quality of Life and Environment Committee needs to look into. For a year and a half, you all know I've been coming to talk about fluoridation because it's not safe and it's not effective. But today, you people on the council, and especially Mayor and the Quality of Life and Environment Committee, needs to look into the fact, and you'll be getting a handout, that the water department is not injecting the proper amount of fluoride to the water, even if you do believe that the 0.7 is a good idea to be having in our water. I really encourage you to look at this, guys, because this is inefficiency. This is the deal. I did an open records request, and I asked for all the raw water levels of fluoride for 2013, 2014, 2015. And in that report that I got for every day, it shows what the water started out with and then how much fluoride was put into it and then the finished product. As you will see, we exceed the recommended level on many days. So take a look and see what's happening. The water department is not doing their job. We need an open public hearing on this. The committee met last May, and I have a YouTube of it, and I'm going to be posting it a lot because Sandy Grayson asked some questions. But there you are. Sandy Grayson asked, hi. She asked some questions, and the only experts that were there were the water department. And one of the things she said was, is it true that Highland Park has never fluoridated? And they said yes. And she said, do you know why? And Jody says, no, I don't know why. Well, there were a lot of open questions during that committee meeting, okay? Now we're in a new year. We have the data. I'm showing you that too much is being injected into our water. And that was one of the questions during that meeting that Councilman Cadane brought up. How do you protect us from being over-fluoridated? Ken Del Rango with the water department says we have an injection system that's very accurate. Now, I believe you guys just take that as face value. You would assume they're doing a good job, but the facts do not prove that. Mr. McDough, you're on the committee, and I know Ms. Young is. I wish she was here today. But, Mayor, that's what you have these committees for, to look into the problems and the concerns of the people, and then let it come to the people. Because even Mr. Griggs and Mr. Kingston were saying, they're only adding 0.2 parts per million, what's the deal? But that's not what they're doing. So you two especially are very vocal on concerns that are the city's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Why don't you get behind this one? Please. What does it take to have a committee meeting and have it open to the public and bring in some experts? I don't think it's asking too much. Thank you, guys, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Your next speaker, Sandy Mosley.